Aloha and welcome to Sports Viz. This week we feature highlights from Week 3 of the BIIF football season. First up, Hilo hosts Kona JV. Hilo threatened early in what I anticipated would be a high-scoring affair. Here Kelly hands off to Lapilio, finds some running room, takes it down inside the 1. Hilo looking to punch it in from the half-yard line. Hand off to Lapilio. Luando there, stands him up. Makoa Chapa over to finish it off. No gain. Let's try that again. Another hand off to Lapilio. Makoa Chapa, Evan Yamaguchi. Loss of about a yard. It's the third time a charm. Lapilio again. Luando, Yamaguchi, Chapa, et al. Put a stop to that. Now Hilo's going to bring in the field goal unit. Race Takayasu puts Hilo on the board with 3. Big play here for Kona. Brandon Howes looks deep for Luka Vartic. Goes up, makes the catch, comes down, fumbles, gets up, recovers the ball. Now I've looked at both angles. I've slowed it down to make the call for you guys. He made the catch. It was a fumble. Looked like he was down, but if you're frame by frame, the ball was coming out before the knee touched. Got up, picked it up, took it to the end zone. Touchdown Kona, Luka Vartic. Now Tristan Spikes didn't play in Hilo's game against Waimea, where Lapilio got most of the action, but with this play he says, hey, don't forget about me. I can still get down the field. I can still score. Touchdown Vikings, Tristan Spikes. Hilo threatening again from deep in Kona territory. Kelly drops the pass, looks into the end zone. Chase Takaki for Kona, leaps, makes a one-handed stab, comes down with the interception. If there's a better pick all year, I'd be surprised. Chase Takaki. Howes back to pass, swings it out to Ellis Noah. Makes one tackler miss, spin move, makes another tackler miss. Makes it downfield. Finally dragged down from behind by Fahiwa. Nice gain for Kona. After the big play by Ellis Noah, Kona threatening. Howes drops the pass, slants it to Takaki, touchdown. Perfect pass. If he'd led Takaki anymore, Mortensen would have come up with a pick. Kelly drops the pass, looking for Kono. Yamaguchi steps in front for the pick. Looking to take it to the house, going to be stopped just short. Following the pick, Bubba's going to find a gap between Moyoge and Cancino with a clear out by Grace for the touchdown. Brandon Howes running the option, going to pitch back to Chase Takaki, coming the other way on a reverse. Wide open field, driving for the end zone, going to make a dive for the cone here. But you'll see he does step out of bounds, but they call it the touchdown, which is okay because last year they took one away where he wasn't out of bounds, so I guess it's just karma. Now the ensuing kickoff after the Takaki TD, John Raplogal going to send it deep. One of the few times on the evening that he didn't get a touchback. Ball's taken by Tristan Spikes, and he's going to work his magic again. We're right up the middle, breaking tackles, making moves, taking it all the way to the house. Touchdown Hilo, Tristan Spikes. Big TD return there. Howes drops to pass. Iolani in for the sack. Hilo back on offense. Lapilio says, nice run, Spikes, but I got you covered. Check this out. Taking it to the house, touchdown Vikings, Lapilio. Hilo going for 2. Kelly keeps it himself into the end zone, 2-point conversion. Howes with a screen to Ellis Noah. Picking up some blocks downfield. Cameron Howes with a block there. Little shield from Veritek into the end zone. Touchdown, Bubba Ellis Noah. Little love for the Sports Viz camera there. Now for the extra point, Cameron Howes going to field the grounder there. Look to get around the outside, breaks a couple tackles, takes it into the end zone, 2-point conversion, Cameron Howes. Another handoff to Tristan Spikes. Finds some running room. Nice pickup. First down, Hilo. Kelly drops to pass, feels the pressure, but can't get away from Makoa Chapa. Sack for Kona. Kelly drops to pass. Gonna look deep for Macabio, but Takaki steps in front, gets another interception, takes it downfield. He will fumble the ball, but I believe it was recovered by Kona. Next up, Hilo JV versus Kona JV. Still early in the season, haven't got all my rosters together, so I don't have a roster for Kona. But in this case, Connie Alpio tackled by a swarm of Kona defenders. Handoff to Lewis, he reverses field, breaks one tackle, but 3 more behind that one. Tackle for loss. Tiogenko drops to pass. Looks downfield. Pass is broken up by number 26. Good defense there. Kona to punt. Nice deep punt. Fielded by Connie Alpio. Right up the middle. Finds a seam. Gets a little block there into the end zone. Touchdown, Hilo. On the ensuing kickoff, Hilo sends it deep. Number 11 for Kona. Finds a lot of room down the sideline. Big return. Kona handoff to number 5 there. Looks like he has some running room. Gets hit, gives up some ground, and Connie Alpio all over the field early. Tackle for loss. Tiogenko running the read option, keeps the ball himself. Finds a lot of running room, picks up about 10 yards. Enough to Connie Alpio, met in the backfield by a number of Kona defenders. Tackle for loss. Tiogenko drops to pass, going to be swarmed by Kona defenders and tackled for a sack. Tiogenko looking to pass again, feels some pressure, takes it up the middle, tackled for no gain. Hilo to punt. Bad snap, but it's fielded. Short punt. Good looking return. Then Lewis comes into the picture, knocks the ball loose. Recovered by Hilo. First down, Vikings. Hilo looking to go deep once again. But there's number 26 for Kona, making another good play on the ball. Good pass defense, almost an interception. Kona with the QB on the goal line, handoff to number 23, retreats into the end zone, almost dropped for a safety, but then gets free, picks up some yardage, gives Kona some breathing room. Kona QB hands off to number 23, finds a hole, picks up some running room on the right-hand side before being swarmed by the Hilo defense. Kona goes to number 5 again. Fukushima with some penetration, forces the play wide, and the runner is stopped for no gain. Kona QB drops to pass, looks downfield, receiver slips. Tolentino Perry steps in front of the ball, thinking pick six before being dragged down from behind. Turnover for Hilo. This time Kealakehe keeps it himself, finds some running room down the right sideline, inside the 5. Kamehameha looks to score, but is met by a host of Kona defenders. No gain on the play. Once again, Kealakehe going to take matters into his own hand here. Into the end zone, touchdown Vikings. Hilo sets up in the muddle huddle, if you will. Direct snap to Kealakehe. Finds Lewis in the end zone for the 2-point conversion. Kona QB drops to pass, looks deep. His aim's better than the cameramen's. He hooks up with number 26, doing work on both sides of the ball today. Big pickup for the Wildcats. Hand off to 23. Looking for some running room, but Toledo going to tackle him for a loss. Looks like punt formation, but it's a fake going deep. Kamehameha tips the ball. Toledo picks it off. First down for the Vikings. Kealakehe looks for his receiver on the slant, but some really good pass defense by number 23 for Kona there. Kona QB drops to pass. A little late getting the ball off, hangs it up. Kealakehe steps in front. Works his way downfield, lots of running room, too much speed. Into the end zone for a pick 6. Handoff to Lewis coming across from the slot. Play looked pretty obvious. Kona swarms it, stops it for a loss. Hilo back to pass. At times, Kona played some really good pass defense during the game. Pickoff there by number 28. Takes it downfield. Nice little return until he decides to go backwards. And then he goes forwards again. And probably get down on the ground. Don't fumble that ball. Kona goes to the air. Kealakehe not playing QB anymore, so he's going to be on D. Another pick. Got some escorts. Breaks a tackle, uses his speed, gets a block, cuts back inside, once again takes to the house, pick 6. He had another one that was called back too. Kealakehe with the handoff, but the Kona defense there, big tackle for loss. Lima in at QB. Drops to pass, but looks like he was trying to set up a screen. It didn't get set up quick enough. Drop for a sack. Late in the game, up big, Hilo goes with their second team offense, and they had a bit of a difficulty dealing with the Kona defense. Stop for no gain. Hand off to Lewis, but met by 3 defenders. Tackle for loss. QB drops the pass. Swarmed by the defense. Big sack there for the Kona D. And that last highlight was the last shot from the roof. They asked me to get down. But once I got down, didn't want to miss any action. Kona goes deep, but Agliam with the interception for Hilo there. Lima standing on his own goal line, retreats into the end zone, gets swarmed, safety for Kona. Kona QB looking downfield. Finds number 31. Nice pickup, first down for the Wildcats. Kona looking to add to their safety. Quarterback fires downfield. Kaniaupio with the pick. Thinking pick 6, but dragged down from behind. Final, Hilo 29, Kona 2. Here's some highlights from Waikea's game versus Honokaa. Epinesa with a handoff to Ibanez, but Picanco there for the tackle for loss. Rodriguez swings the ball out to Shane Smith, but Kealoha right there. Minimal gain. Okay, we're going to watch this one closely to pick up some of the detail. The call on this play is going to be helmet-to-helmet contact, and Devin Preston's going to be assessed a 15-yard penalty. But if you watch closely, you'll see that it's actually a shoulder that goes into the helmet. It looks violent. You get the trailing referee throwing the flag, but certainly you want to err on the side of caution. But in this case, that was a clean hit and shouldn't have been a penalty. Epinesa drops to pass, going to be swarmed by Dietz with a little help from Sakona for the sack. Epinesa keeps the ball, looking to run the option. Swarmed, pitches, big hit by Pasco Brown on Ebenez, jars the ball loose. Ultimately, Sakona comes up with the ball for Waikea. Rodriguez, handoff to Preston. Finds some running room up the middle, cuts it to the outside, takes it downfield, eventually run out of bounds at about the 12-yard line or so. Epinez with the pitch to Vaoga. Runs over Ani Medeiros. Nice pickup. Epinesa drops to pass. Has time, looks deep downfield. Falk goes up to get it. Big pickup for the Dragons. Epinesa drops to pass, looks out in the flats. Zach Correa steps in front of the pass. Pick 6, Waikea. Rodriguez with a handoff to Preston. Breaks some couple tackles, cuts back inside, works his way into the end zone for the touchdown. Falk with a pass to Vaoga. Tyler Kerr pokes the ball loose, and Chunlai gets on it for the Warriors. Rodriguez drops the pass, gets some pressure. Kaono strips the ball. Manriquez falls on the ball for the Dragons. Falk finds Canijo on a slant, but he's going to pay the price when he gets hit by Nisa. Once again, going to the slow-mo here so you can see the detail on the play. Quatoriano rushing from the outside, isn't going to get to the play, gets his hand up, tips the ball, and it falls incomplete. Hand off to Preston, looking for some running room, but Richards is there. Tackle for no gain. Falk drops to pass. Dietz with pressure on the outside, makes a spin move back inside, drops Falk for a sack. Falk finds Vaoga in the flat. Nice pickup before he's tripped up by Preston. Rodriguez to pass. Finds Ani Medeiros. Nice catch. A few extra yards after the catch. Big pickup for Waikea. Rodriguez with a handoff to Preston. Finds some running room on the right-hand side. Takes it down to about the 15-yard line. Rodriguez drops to pass. Looks deep, is going to thread the ball between two defenders, find Ani Medeiros for the TD. Falk with a handoff to Epinesa in at running back. Nice pickup out for a Dragon first down. Falk looks over the middle, finds Ibanez, goes up, gets the ball, takes a big hit from Preston, but comes down with it for a Dragon first down. Falk with a handoff to Epinesa, met right at the line. Nisa and a few other tacklers in on the stop there. Another handoff to Epinesa and more running room off tackle. Handoff to Preston. Richards and Swift combined to drop him for a loss. Rodriguez drops the pass, feels some pressure, tries to scramble, but big man number 55, Batalona, throws him down. Falk drops the pass. Finds Kealoha. Nice pickup for the Dragons. Falk drops the pass, scrambles, finds some running room before being tackled by Ani Medeiros. Falk keeps the ball himself. Going to be tracked down by Barber. Handoff to Akana Baltero, but he's going to be swarmed by the defensive line of the Dragons. Tackle for a loss. Another handoff to Epinesa. Finds some running room off tackle. Nice pickup for the Dragons. Handoff to Vaoga. He's going to find some hard yardage right up the middle for the Dragons. Rodriguez gives the ball to Preston. Gets hit at the line of scrimmage, spins off. Finds some running room down the left-hand sideline. Good pickup. Felipe drops the pass. Going to look downfield for Honokaa. We're going to go to the slow-mo here. Catches the ball, takes a couple steps, gets the ball knocked loose. Ball's recovered by Kealoha, but the official waves the play incomplete. Tough break for Honokaa. Should have been their ball. Rodriguez drops the pass, sets up the screen to Preston. 2-on-1, but Swift breaks through the block and drops Preston for a loss. This is punt formation. It's Rodriguez back there, which might give you the indication that it's a fake. He goes downfield. He's going to find Ani Medeiros for the first down, but notice the center's down there. I wonder if it's legal to send the center down on a fake punt. Who knows? Rodriguez hands off to Alvarez. Finds a hole. Nice pickup for Waimea. Another handoff to Alvarez. And another big pickup. First down, Warriors. Rodriguez is going to swing the ball out to Aveo Lanford there, but Kealoha there, tackle for loss. Rodriguez drops the pass. Looks over the middle. Finds Ani Medeiros, takes it in the end zone. Touchdown, Warriors. On the ensuing kickoff, Epinesa takes the ball, finds some good running room, takes it out for about a 30-35 yard return. Falk rolls out looking to pass. Ball's tipped by Kainalu. Preston almost comes up with the interception. Good defense. Felipe in at QB, hands off to Aveo Lanford. Finds some running room on the right-hand side. Looks like the defense have corralled him, but he sneaks free. Heads down the sideline into the end zone. Touchdown, Waimea. Handoff to Epinesa. Weaves his way between tacklers. Finds some good running room. First down. Another handoff to Epinesa. More running room. Big pickup for the Dragons. Another first down. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Another handoff to Epinesa. He's going to take it down inside the one. First and goal, Dragons. Now, Epinez did all the heavy lifting, but they're going to let Vaoga finish it off. Touchdown, Dragons. Wayne Vaoga. Felipe hands off to Alvarez. Cuts it outside. Finds some running room. Makes his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Waimea. And the final score of the game, Honokaa goes to Wayne Vaoga once again for the touchdown. Check out some highlights from Waimea JV versus Kealakehe JV. Again, dealing with some roster issues. No roster for the Kealakehe JV, but Takabayashi for Waimea stopped for no loss by the front line. Kealakehe QB going to swing the ball out to number 5. A little screen pass there. Going to work his way out close to a first down. Nice pickup. Kealakehe with another pass, another receiver screen here. Breaks one tackle, number 10 does. Gets up the field. Nice pickup, first down, Kealakehe. This time the ball's handed off to number 5. Keeps breaking tackles. Working his way out close to another first down. And this time the QB keeps the ball himself. Finds a little running room up the middle. Keeps going. Again, out close to another first down. Salvador with the handoff to Takabayashi. Keeps the feet moving. Keeps the pile moving. Keeps driving for more yards. Nice pickup. This time handoff to Ongais, but he's going to be stopped short of the line of scrimmage for a loss. Kealakehe QB drops to pass. Under pressure, scrambles to his right. Keeps retreating. Finally going to be dropped for a sack by Silva Barrero. Kealakehe handoff to number 5. Finds a seam on the outside, works downfield, punishes the tackler. Nice pickup. Kealakehe QB drops to pass, rolls to his left, finds his receiver, gets just enough for a first down. Kealakehe QB drops to pass, looks deep downfield, has a receiver wide open in the end zone, but he hangs the ball up a little bit. Receiver has to come out of the end zone to catch the ball on about the 2-yard line. Kealakehe hands off number 5 from the 2-yard line. He punches it in for a Kealakehe touchdown. Another handoff to Takabayashi, finds a lot of running room right up the middle. Nice pickup. More Takabayashi. Right up the middle, running over tacklers, dragging tacklers with him. First down, Waimea. Doremus in at QB for the Warriors. Finds Evangelista, breaks a couple tackles, picks up about 6-7 yards. Another handoff to Takabayashi, right up the middle, running over tacklers, picking up about 9 yards. Doremus is going to swing the ball out to Evangelista, but this time the Kealakehe defense is ready. Big tackle for loss. Doremus drops to pass, gets a little pressure right up the middle, scrambles to his right, sees some opening, dives for the end zone. Touchdown, Waimea. Doremus looking for the 2-point conversion, finds Hattori McBraun into the end zone, 2 points. On the ensuing kickoff, ball's taken by number 12 on the 10. Works his way across the field, finds some running room. Big return for Kealakehe. Kealakehe QB rolls out to pass, finds a receiver. First down, Wave Riders. Kealakehe QB rolling out to pass again. Under pressure, fires it downfield, kind of hangs it up. Aurelio there for the Warriors with the pick. Kealakehe with the bubble screen to the receiver there. Picks up some blocking and a Wave Rider first down. Setting up another screen for their big power back, number 5. Breaking tackles, finding some running room, picking up another Wave Rider first down. Again, Kealakehe using that screen quite a bit, picking up some blocking. Ball's on the ground. Looks like it's going to be covered by Waimea. Warriors with another handoff to Takabayashi. Big hole up the middle. Keeps working for extra yards. First down, Warriors. Handoff to Ongais. Looks for running room, but met by big number 44 there. No gain. Salvador back in the game for Waimea. Swings the ball out to Cuba. Picks up a first down for the Warriors. Salvador drops to pass. Feels some pressure, rolls to his right, but gets taken down. Sack for Kealakehe. Waimea in punt formation. It's a fake punt, but it's going to be well read by Kealakehe's defense. They take over on downs. Salvador to Takabayashi. More running room right up the middle. Close to another Warrior first down. And again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. More Takabayashi right up the middle. Warrior first down. Another receiver screen for the Wave Riders. And another nice pickup. Wave Rider QB drops to pass, looks into the end zone. Good pass defense by the Warriors. Ball's batted down. Wave Riders looking to punch it in the end zone. Hand off to big number 5, but he's met by the Waimea defense. They stop him short of the end zone. And that brings up something you don't often see in the JV game, a field goal attempt. This one is good. Doremus back in at QB for the Warriors. Looking deep downfield. Finds Hattori McBraun. Nice reception, big pickup. First down, Warriors. This time, Doremus drops, fires over the middle, finds Cuba, takes it down inside the 1. Okay, we're going to the slow-mo here to see the details of the play. Waimea fumbled the ball, so Kealakehe has it deep in their own territory. Just don't want to get that safety. Looks like the QB gets out of the end zone, gets forward progress, gets drugged back into the end zone by Waimea, but nevertheless, a safety is called, and that's the winning margin. Waimea 10, Kealakehe 9. Sportsviz camera made it out to Oahu to check on the 2 games there with Big Island teams. Iolani versus Kamehameha Hawaii here. Iolani QB going to hand off. Runner's going to be tripped up by Timmy Burke. No gain. Again, Iolani looking to establish a running game here. Pono Davis drives his man right back into the runner, knocks him down for a loss. Again, more of the ground game for Iolani here. This time it's Paka Davis who makes a play on the runner. No gain there. Kamehameha on offense. Kanehalua rolls to his left, looks downfield, finds Kawamoto, holds onto the ball. Nice pickup. Kanehalua to pass again, finds Cook over the middle. Nice reception. This time Iolani looks to pass, fires downfield. We're blocked by the coach there, unfortunately, but number 32 for the Warriors comes up with the interception. Don't have him on the roster, unfortunately. Iolani to kick off. Ball short, taken by Kealakehe. And he gets it up the field for a nice return. Iolani to pass once again. This time Paca Davis gets in, knocks the ball down, almost comes up with the interception. Nice play. Iolani looking to run the ball up the middle again. This time Baptiste there for the tackle. Hilo with a handoff to Teofilo. Finds some running room. Nice pickup for the Warriors. Hilo going to hand off to Kawamoto coming across from the slot position. Nice pickup for the Warriors. Again, Iolani looking to run the ball up the middle. This time a swarm of Kamehameha defenders there to stop the play. Iolani looking to take it to the air once again. Quarterback goes deep, but there's number 32 again. Nice one-handed interception. Wish we knew his name. Kamehameha looking to find some offense. Give the ball to Chase Penaku. Big gain right up the middle. Another handoff to Chase. And another pickup. Another handoff to Chase. More broken tackles, more hard running, good pickup. Warriors going to be keeping it on the ground here. Handoff to Teofilo. Breaks some tackles, runs hard, nice pickup. Another handoff to Penaku, looking for the first down. Dives for it. Tough to tell from the angle, but he got the first down. Iolani with the draw. Timmy Burke there, tackle for loss. Handoff to Teofilo. Breaks it outside, finds some running room, hurdles a player. Big pickup, first down, Kamehameha. Iolani looking for more yardage on the ground, but the front seven of the Warriors put a stop to that play. Iolani keeping it on the ground. Powell there for the tackle for loss. Hilo hands off to Teofilo. Finds some running room on the right-hand side. Picks up a Warrior first down. Another handoff to Teofilo. Running room, nice pickup. Iolani keeping it on the ground, but Timmy Burke, among others, putting a stop to that play. Iolani running back looking for room on the outside. Going to be stopped. Number 20 and 21 in on the play. Iolani with more of the ground and pound in the second half here, but the Warriors up to the task. Another rushing attempt for Chase Penaku here. Finds some running room. Just gets tripped up. Probably would have picked up a few more. Hilo with the receiver screen to Sloan. Picks up a few yards for the Warriors. Hilo drops to pass. Looking deep. Finds Uitaki. Loses his footing, or he might have picked up a few more yards. First real game action for Chase today, and he made the most of it. Nice pickup there. Again, Iolani on the ground. Kamehameha, big tackle for loss. Number 20 and on the play. Another rushing attempt for Iolani, another big stop for the Warrior defense. Again, they were outscored heavily in the first half, but in the second half, shutout. Last play of the game here, about 7 seconds left on the clock. Iolani in punt formation. Kicks the ball deep. Aganis there fields the ball. Looking for running room. Finally picks up a little bit on the outside. Going to make it interesting here, but eventually Iolani tracks him down into the game. Iolani 36, Kamehameha 0. And the last game of the weekend found us on the campus of Kamehameha Kapalama. A beautiful facility. We'll give you a little pan here just to show you what the view is like from the field, and then we'll get to some of the action. This was the first preseason game for the Wave Riders, the third preseason game for the Warriors of Kamehameha Kapalama. Let's check out the action. Again, dealing with roster issues here. Kamehameha threatening, but Winton Palak there with the big stop for a loss. Kamehameha looking to punch it in again. This time, fumble with the exchange. Kealakehe gets on it. Again, Winton on the ball. Kaimi in at QB for the Wave Riders. Hands off to Tilfus. Little stiff arm there. Finds some good running room. Big pickup for the Wave Riders. Keanu Tilfus. And Kamehameha on the ground here. Play strung out well by the Wave Riders. Tackle for minimal gain. Kamehameha in punt formation. Bad snap. Kealakehe converges on the punter. Tackles him. First down, Wave Riders. Deep in Kamehameha territory. Inside handoff. Nice pickup for the Wave Riders. Amy looks into the end zone. Probably should have been pass interference. They had a call earlier that was very similar. More of the Kamehameha running game, but Kealakehe this time diagnoses the play. No gain. Kamehameha keeping it on the ground. Big Travis Lualemaga for the stop there. Kamehameha looks like they've got some running room on the outside, but number 6 there for a good tackle from the corner position. Here we have a handoff to sophomore sensation Riggs Kurashigi. Nice pickup for the Wave Riders. Looks like a first down. Here the Wave Riders going to pitch to the slot coming around. And nice play, nice pickup, first down for the Wave Riders. Kamehameha looking to set up a screen here, but well played by the Wave Riders. Limited gain on the play. More of Kamehameha's ground game. This time 22 gets hit, ball's on the ground. Takes a while for the players to realize there's a fumble. Finally they get on it. Ball's going to be recovered by Kealakehe. Another rushing attempt and more of Winton Pallett clogging up the middle there. Kamehameha looking for room off tackle, but the back is met in the hole by Tilfus. Little or no gain. Kamehameha goes to the air looking to score a touchdown. Ball's batted in the air. Kealakehe comes up with it. Player should have stayed in the end zone, taking it out to the 20. As it is, ball's on the half-yard line. First down. Wilson in his own end zone, rolls to his right, looks downfield, finds a receiver. Nice scoop job. First down for the Wave Riders. Wilson drops to pass, looks over the middle, finds a receiver, picks up some of the yardage loss to a penalty. Again, Wilson back to pass, under pressure. Finds a receiver open across the middle. Bounces off a tackle. Works his way downfield for a big pickup. One of the bigger plays of the game for the Wave Riders. Later in the game, Wilson began to find the range. Another pass play, another completion for the Wave Riders. Kamehameha looking to set up the screen play. Swing it out to the back, but Tilfus reads it perfectly. Stops the play for about a 3-yard loss. Kamehameha QB rolling away from the pressure. Fires across the middle. Almost a big interception there. Good pass defense. Kealakehe punting out of its end zone. When they yell poison, get away from it. The football takes a weird bounce. Bounces off the Kamehameha player. Ball's recovered by Kealakehe. First down, Wave Riders. Another punt. Nice high floater. Ball's on the ground. Recovered by the Wave Riders. Number 9 in at QB for the Wave Riders. Nice pass play. First down. Kamehameha looking to get into the end zone through the air here, but number 12 for the Wave Riders there for the pick. And a nice little return of about 10 yards. Again, new QB in the game. Going to keep it on the read option. Find some running room. Big pickup, first down for the Wave Riders. Again, the QB keeping it himself and picking up some good yardage. Another running attempt by the Warriors. Pollock there once again for the big stop. Final 34-0 Kamehameha.